Dean Boynton, Father Penna, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, family, friends, and graduates of the Carroll School of Management, class of 2026. My name is Erica Graff, and it is my honor to introduce to you and welcome you to the 150th University Commencement Exercises. I'd like to begin by asking Father Tony Penna of Boston College University Mission and Ministry for a blessing.
Let us pray a little bit. O God of hope, on this day we gather in gratitude and pride for the graduates of Boston College's Carroll School of Management 2026. May God bless all of you who are graduating today, and may God go with you as you leave this Jesuit university in a few hours, shaped not only by knowledge and research, but also shaped by a unique spiritual pedagogy that hopefully forms you to be a special kind of leader for our world. Yes, with God's help, may you surely be smart and competent in the world of business. But also, we pray, may you be leaders who are full of integrity, leaders who are driven by conscience. May you instinctively choose what is right over what is easy, what is good over what is self-serving, and what serves all people, especially the broken and the forgotten, not only the privileged in our midst. May God grant you humility in all of your relationships and true gratitude in all of your achievements. And may God grant you generosity in all of your abundance. And may God bless your families and your friends too, your faculty and your mentors too, all who have loved and sacrificed and supported you throughout the years of your BC undergraduate journey. So let us ask God as we end to bless Boston College, your new alma mater, for generations to come. May BC continue to form graduates as good and prepared as you are, the class of 26, to answer the world's deepest needs with imagination and talent and courage and compassion. But here's the important one, with hope, a hope grounded in our Jesuit tradition, a hope that tomorrow can always be better than today. And so with that hope in our hearts, we ask God to bless all of us today in all good ways. In the name of our good God, amen.
Thank you, Father Tony. I am now delighted to introduce you to Jack Griffin, who is selected by a faculty committee to be your class speaker.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, welcome to the family and friends here who have traveled many, many miles to be here. Of course, to the faculty and staff who have worked incredibly hard to keep all of us in shape. And to the incredible class of 2026, let's hear a quick round of applause for everybody. As I was sitting here briefly waiting to come up, I actually started to get pretty nervous. But I quickly realized after doing a final scan that it'd be pretty hard to worry when half of the class is asleep right now. Getting their well-deserved rest, of course. So it is truly my honor to buy all of you 5 minutes of nap time. So I'll be honest, I've run the numbers on this speech. The word count, the syllables per sentence, the expected value of one really bad joke. And after all of that rigorous analysis, I still have absolutely no idea if it's any good. So it turns out that some things just can't be measured, which is funny because our time here has been about almost nothing else. Our 4 years here at Boston College and life beyond campus have been about measurements. For example, if you know me, I'm noticeably 6 feet tall. Unfortunately, that technically translates to 5'8". But we've been measured by a lot of other more important metrics, like our GPA, our credit hours, our internship offers, and our starting salaries. We have been graded, ranked, sorted, and evaluated so many times that somewhere along the way, a lot of us started to think that those numbers were the point. That if we could just optimize every variable and get every metric right, we would have figured it out by now. For a while, that felt true until it didn't. Until you got that grade, but you still felt lost. Until you landed the internship of your dreams, but you realized that no spreadsheet could actually tell you if it was the right one. As a business student, I'll admit, I leaned into that. We were trained to measure things, to put a number on almost anything, to calculate the risk, to quantify the uncertainty, and to find the value in whatever we were looking at. Now, that skill is powerful, and I don't want to dismiss it. However, I realized I started to ask myself an entirely different question. Not what is that skill worth, but what does that worth even mean? Because the longer that I've been here, the more I've come to believe that the most important things in life cannot be measured. That the real education Boston College gave us quietly between the problem sets and the case studies was about learning to tell the difference between what shows up on a report and what actually matters. And that distinction, it turns out, is everything. So I challenge all of you to think about what actually changed you here. It might not have been a lecture. In fact, it might have been a professor who remembered your name when they didn't have to, when they had 200 more students to worry about. It might have been a teammate who showed up for you when you didn't ask them to. And it might have even been a late night conversation with your roommate about everything other than your exam the next morning at 9 a.m. Those things, they don't show up in any model. You can't backtest them or put them in a pitch deck. However, they compound persistently over 4 years into the people sitting in these seats today. And to the families here, we thank you because you were absolutely a part of that compounding too. So BC built all of this into us on purpose because this place has always known that the most valuable things are the ones you can't price, the things you can't measure. This university was founded on the belief that education isn't about just what you know. It's about who you become. Men and women for others. Man, I have heard that phrase so many times over my 4 years here at BC, it became easy to let it wash over me. But I do want to sit with it for a moment because I genuinely believe it's the most radical thing anyone in a business school can say. In a field where success is measured in returns, in bonuses, in market share, this institution actually asked us to measure ourselves by something else entirely different. Not for the market, not for the quarter, but for others. So that means the client who needs the honest advice, not the advice that closes the deal. It means the colleague who requires a mentor and not a competitor. And it means the community that needs personal investment, not extraction. So the world doesn't need more people who are simply good at business. It needs people who are good and happen to be great at business. It needs young leaders who bring honesty into the boardroom, a caring mentor who creates opportunity for the people around them, and those who understand that the truest measure of a life well lived is not found on a balance sheet. So to the class of 2026, I leave you all with this. You are ready, even if it doesn't feel like it. You showed up when you didn't have to. You worked when you didn't feel like it. You chose this school, and this school chose you back. And 4 years later, that exchange produced something worth celebrating. Your freshman year, BC set the standard, and 4 years later, you rose to meet it with distinction. Now, please, go be worth something that the market can't price. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jack. I'd now like to ask Andy Boynton, the John and Linda Powers Family Dean of the Carroll School of Management, to welcome us here today.
Hi, everybody. So my name's Andy, and I've been the dean for 20 years. I was also a graduate of BC in 1978, so this place is very important to me. Before I begin, what I want to do is recognize some very important people, not me, who are on the stage with me and on the side, but some of the faculty of the Carroll School. And these students know many of them very, very well. You know, I was at UNC Chapel Hill on the faculty. I was overseas. I was at UVA. One thing I learned, great schools are made up of great faculty. These are great faculty. They're talented, smart, hardworking. Stand up. Give them a big applause. Stand up, guys. Faculty, stand up. You know, most of them, not all of them, was John. Most of them are a lot smarter than I am. So I got this job. But the faculty are the ones, you know, formation, right? You know, intellectual, social, intellectual, spiritual formation. The faculty are the ones who push the students, teach the students, frustrate the students, reward the students. They really are the heart and soul of a university. And we have a very talented group of faculty. It's an honor to be amongst them. And one thing we pay attention to, well, two things, is research, new ideas, new knowledge, new insights, and they do research as good as any faculty in the country or the world. The other is teaching. We have more measures for teaching, more awards amongst the faculty. We have a grade distribution in the Carroll School, which I know the students love. Right? You love the grade. Not everybody's going to get an A in the Carroll School. That doesn't do anybody any good. So we do a lot around teaching. And we have some teaching awards. We have a number of awards. We have this all-star list in the school. Maybe 20, 30 names a semester of people who meet certain gradients, the grades, excellence, your evaluations. But also there's 3 outstanding colleagues we recognize at the end of every year. We have a committee, choose them. They get what we call the Coughlin Award. It emphasizes excellence teaching, and it's something that we take very seriously who gets it. So this year we have 3 outstanding colleagues who have won the Coughlin Award. There's a lot more great teachers in the Carroll School than 3, but it's always good, I think, to reward excellence. And I have an award for, I'm not sure who's here, I know one's here, but we have awards for them. Ki-Soon Choi, who many of you might have had in accounting, and I know you love accounting, right? Right? Who doesn't love financial accounting? Me. When I was here, I couldn't. Brad Hudson, who teaches marketing. Anybody have Brad? He's a Coughlin Award winner. And Ashley Shifley, another award winner. Ashley, so I know Ashley's here. I know Brad's not. I'm not sure about Ki-Soon. There he is. Come on up. Ashley, come on up. I have something for you. Ashley, congratulations. Thanks for doing a great job. You pushed the students. Keep it going. a great job. You're natural. But there's more. I'm not done yet. Now's the I have good news. I don't have a speech that I'm going to give. No speech. But I do have some academic articles I thought I would read. One is the aggregation learning trade-off. No, we could go around the room and everybody could introduce themselves, like where they're from. Members, we could speak loud now. I have some remarks. They'll be brief, and they're really directed at the graduates. And congratulations, by the way. But look, you're all bright, smart, great parents, great friends. You should have done this. But you did it with class. And I just hope it sticks with you like it stuck with me. The one thing that really stuck with me about BC was two things. Well, three. I'll get to one in a minute. One was I worked my tail off. I came up from New Jersey. I never studied in high school. Different era. I just worked. Hard work pays off now and in the future. The other thing is the motto of BC, ever to excel. Every day, try to get better. Try to teach better. Try to do your job better. Try to build a better Carroll school. Keep trying things. Experiment. Push. Push. Ever to excel. Do more. I hope that sticks with you. How many of you were at baccalaureate mass yesterday? In the audience? A lot. I thought the priest, I got to write him a letter. I thought it was a great homily. And I'm not going to try to go into what he did. But there's a simple message he gave. It was an interesting metaphor, how you have to open the door to Jesus. Jesus is not going to open the door to you. So it's this notion of doors and what doors you open. And it got me thinking, and I don't usually personalize anything, but I will for a reason here. Because I want you to think about the doors you are going to have to open. No one will open the doors for you. It's all about the choices you're going to make. So what I mean by concrete, well, one is kind of interesting. I think I told a few of you up by Gasson today. The big door was freshman year, first day, just arrived. I was in front of Casca Hall. Any of you live in Casca ever? And my parents, there was no big, like we have now, this week-long thing. It was just, here's the stuff, goodbye. 74. And I was sitting in front of Casca. A car drove up from New Jersey. Young woman gets out. The father and the mother, I said, can I help unpack your car? That was Jane. She's still my wife. Almost 50. Kind of gets me teared up. Some of you know Jane well. Big door. So we got married, 4 children later. She's up there probably watching this or walking the dogs on campus. Some of you see us with our little dogs. Big door. But it's a door. Who are you going to marry and stuff like that? But then the doors started to move. You graduate from BC. I worked in Boston for a few years. Big decision. Go to graduate school. I didn't want to. Let's go somewhere different. UNC Chapel Hill, Carolina Blue. So down we go to UNC to get an MBA. 2 years, Jane. Only 2 years, and let's try a different part of the country. Chapel Hill's beautiful. So we go down there for 2 years. Halfway through, I said, I want to get a PhD, Jane. Well, what's that mean? Oh, just 5 more years. That was a big door. We had Owen then, but I got my PhD. And so that's a door. It was a choice. Like, I wanted to do more. The MBA, let's do more. I'm not saying you should do that, but always thinking about opportunities. And also, I'll comment now, is you meet people along as you open these doors. There's a guy in the audience called Bill Fisher, a dear friend of mine. Bill, where are you? I'm trying to help your brand. There he is. But I met him at UNC. 50 years later, he's one of my best friends, close friend. We've taught all over the world. We've written books together. So you meet people when you open different doors. I've learned more from Bill Fisher than anyone in my life outside probably my father. So Bill's a gift to me. But then After the PhD, life is about meeting people, and you're not gonna meet people hanging out in the same area. You gotta open doors. So after the PhD, I opened another door, University of Virginia, Darden School, taught the MBA. Virginia wasn't my thing, a little stuffy. Mr. Jefferson, the lawn, people wore ties. I hate ties. So a guy came by from a place called IMD in Lausanne, Switzerland. And he said, how would you like to go to Switzerland and teach, Andy? Best executive education in the world. We go to Switzerland to see it, Jane and I. How many have been to Lausanne? You're going over the French Alps, Lake Geneva, balloons were in the air. I said, we can live here? So we go to IMD. I go back to UNC. I get tenure. We go back to IMD, door after door after door after door. These were all choices. Some were tough. Jane and I didn't always agree on the door. I did some doors for her. She did some doors for me. Okay. And yesterday, the homily got me thinking about doors. Here's the message, because I wanted to make it concrete, my own doors. And then BC came to me 21 years ago and said, how would you like to think about being the dean? And we said, yeah, let's go back to where we met. We go to Nantucket at the end of this week. I've been going there since I was a kid. That's convenient. I love to fish. That's my real skill. But they were all doors. Now, here's my message to you. No one in the company you go to work for cares about the doors that you have to open. No one cares about your journey more than you. Your parents care a lot. I get it. But I bet also if you ask your parents, they should be reflecting now, what are the doors they open? Jobs they took, things they said no to. What got them here? It's this decisions about what doors. So for all of you, when you leave here, what I encourage you to do, it may seem far off. It's not. If you're in a job and you're not learning and you're not growing, open a door. Open another door. You've got to take charge of those doors. Don't expect people in these companies to be as concerned about your growth, your happiness as you are. Don't just do it randomly, but look for opportunities. I never thought growing up in New Jersey, I would be standing here, much less living in Switzerland a few times, traveling around the world like I have with Bill Fisher. These were amazing doors, but you have to create them. So take charge of your career starting now. You're the CEO of your own life. Just reflect all the time. Am I in the right job? Am I in the right career? Am I with the right person? What should I do next? Ever to excel, what can you do that's more to grow and grow and grow? And make it an adventure. Don't just get stuck. So think about the doors you open. For you, those of you who were here yesterday, it was a huge door, opening it to Jesus. But there's other big doors along the way. So open doors, have an adventure, and just be aware that these are intentional choices and no one's gonna make them for you. And look for doors and opportunities. And along the way, you will meet people who will be great friends, great colleagues, and people you can learn from forever. So grab them with you and have them traveling along with you in life, no matter what door you're in, and you'll find value in that. Fair enough? So take charge, open doors, and make it a masterpiece. And remember, ever to excel, always do better and better and more. And if you don't have an opportunity or if you hit a dead end, change. So those are my remarks. And let's see, I think we're gonna now hand out 600 degrees or something like that right up here. So congratulations to all of you. You did a great job. You've already made choices. Some of you, what your major was. Were you minor in arts and sciences or major? What job you took? The doors have already begun to, why did you go to BC? Keep that going. Think about those opportunities. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Boynton. I would now like to introduce Professor Diane Feldman and Professor Rita Owens, who will read your name as you walk across this stage to receive your diploma from Dean Boynton.
Let's do this.
We can go faster than this. Let's get this thing cranked up. We can do better.
Elijah Jude Ackerman. Tucker James Atomic. Molly Elizabeth Agnew. Michael Harry Ahern. Paolo Awazi Koshaki. Andrea Albillo Mataranz. Lucas Lomas Alexander. Nathan Avery Alexander. Shay Isabella Alexander. Roshani Alfred. Sydney Grace Allen. Stephen C. Alt Jr. Brandon Rainey Alvarez. Celeste E. Ahn. George Anise Andari. Elisa Brooke Anderson. Jamie Toshiko Francis Andrade. Thomas McCourt Aquino. Maria Jose Ardito. Denisa Adriana Aristato. Alejandro Admani Kong. Alida Ariola. Brandon Michael Astriker. Jamali Achille. Gabriella Ann Otten. Eunice Sika Azamati. Nicholas David Babukakadia.
Gwen Amelia Babiak. Mamadou Ba. Bridget Ann Baker. Jackson Warren Baker. Shay Christina Baker. Paige Danielle Baldus. Federico Andres Baltadano. Lucy Margaret Barrett. Madison Ella Barry. Mia Alexandra Barsky. Brody James Baskin. Indra Bhatbayar. Lauren Augustine Bauer. Logan John Baumgartner. Lillian Elizabeth Began. Theodore Bednar. Natalie Marie Belland Malloy. Daniela Katharina Bello. Lynn Benally. Brady James Berard. Camila Amelie Basada. Ava C. Besson. Darian Batances. Matthew Nicholas Biamonte. Isabella Marie Bishop. Abel James Black.
Emily Borer. Grace G. Wagon. Maxans Anderson Bolton. Doha Bokri. Ryan Hunter Bronner. Aidan Mulaney Brown. Andrew Graham Brown. Charles Bradley Bruce. Eliana Mariam Bruck. James Clayton Bruno. Spencer Arneson Bryant. Daniel Martin Bryce. Caden Ronald Burr. Peter Edward Bush. Jack Butler. Jackson Robert Butler. Alexa Rose Calabrese. Catalina Calvera Maldonado. Felicia Elaine Campanale. Grace Campbell. Mangyan So. Connor James Daniel Carey. John Edward Carey, presented by his father, James Carey. Ryan Kennedy Carr. Apollonia Mariella Cartelli. Catherine Nora Carter. Diane?
Robert Thomas Caruso, presented by his uncle Jason Krantz. Jennifer Lynn Castro. Hunter Francis Jones Cataldo. Carolyn Teresa Caulfield. James Michael Roncal Centino. Maria Shabanava. Mia Chandy. Yingju Chen. Alina Angelino Christou. Joseph Salenti. Sophia Isabel Chulo. Hunter Charles Clark. Robert William Code. James Thomas Cockrell. Jordan Renee Cohen. Antonio James Colarusso. Luke Timothy Colbeck. Nicholas Edward Collins. Jane Elizabeth Commons, presented by her mother, Dorothy Commons. Sebastian Joseph Conley. Liam Michael Connor. Mary Mabel Connor. Peter David Cocolet. Luis Daniel Cordone. Garrett James Corsi. Peter Travers Costa. Riley Noelani Cotter.
Charles Francis Coughlin. John Francis Coughlin. William Lee Councilman. Mackenzie Olivia Craig. William Matthew Cromley. John Charles Crowley. Edward Bates Crowther. John David Cuddy. Aidan Patrick Cunningham. Gregory Matthew Curley Jr. Stephanie Therese Curran. Timothy Francis Cushing.
Is that you? No. We got it. Whoa, wait.
Balind Taza.
We gotta get the names right.
I know. Where are we?
I'm Aiden Patrick.
Okay. Aidan Patrick Cunningham.
Right now?
Gregory Matthew Curley Jr. Stephanie Therese Curran. Timothy Francis Cushing. Balint Saha. Anthony Thomas Zarzasti. Akul George Dachipali. Sanath George Dachipali. And Vishnu George Dachipali. Andre Ferreira Donna. Brendan Davis. Ryan Anthony Deere. Sydney Nicole DeBishop. Tommaso Laird Donato. Samantha Duke DeCanter. Lucia Beatriz de la Sierra. Indua Marie Delfish.
Kedrick Delino. Audrey Jean Della Vedova. Sofika Grace Damas. Gabriel Almeida Fortuna de Oliveira. Owen James DeShazo. Mark Emilio DeSimone. Jack Wrigley Desmond. Ava Catherine DeTrask. Eden Stella DeWare. John William Dillahunt. Lily Jane Diamond. Nicholas John Descala. William Thomas Dorr. Shay Beverly Dolce. Connor Patrick Donahue. Catherine Amanda Donahue. John Patrick Nicholas Dossie. William Joseph Doyle. Connor Dreyer. Claire Dew. Kara Ann Dupitsky. Connor James Duffy. Dylan Christopher Delchinos. Samuel John Dunn. Dylan Duso.
Mitchell Gallen Dwyer. Osk Forsey Eklund. Zoe Elizabeth Eliotis. John Edward Elminger. Michael Joseph Engelhardt. Edward John English. Temidahu Chiagosium Eniola. Vanessa Joy Espinoza. Ava Summers Ensenyi. Matthew Kane Fela. Liam James Falvey. Anya E. Farrow, Kate Fadley, Andrew Christopher Flanagan, Kaylin Erin Flynn, Ethan Jason Foreman, Felipe de la Certa Abreu Fortner, Sean William Fortunato, Maureen Nancy Fox, Beck Rusbeck Fossikoff, Chelsea Ann Frampton, John Kyle Francisconi, Patrick Joseph Frank, Avital Yasmin Friedman, David Charles Fritzy.
Shay Leonora Frost, Daniela Fuerte, Kodai Fujimoto, Jack Funk, John Ryan Fury, Amelia Caitlin Gaffney, Imani Helene Gaines, William Stalter Gall, Matthew John Gallagher, Nandan Kishore Reddy Gangula, Blake Robert Gaston, Anna Hiro He, Trin Girjarusak, Kevin Giassian, Martina Hiacchino, Colin Patrick Gibney, Connor Gibson, John Ryan Gillia, William Jameson Glyman, Christian Godlewski, Anilda Pina Gonsalves, Lucas Roman Gorup, Tanner Charles Grant, Joyce Pepper Green, Charlotte Watson Green,
Jake Nicholas Green, Charles Andrew Greifenkamp, Jack Andrew Griffin, Matthew Jeremy Gurniet, Lila Claire Kennedy Groom, Harry Runling Gui, Lucas Jacob Gustafson, Benjamin Lewis Haddad, Abdul Halidou, Kate Janet Han, Mingsi Derek Han, Philemon R. Han, Grayson Thomas Harkness, James Monroe Hartley, Farah Alexandra Hamzavi Haskin, Adam Walid Hassanan, Thomas Walter Hausman, William Shea Hayden, Timothy Amistoy Hayes, Maureen Megan Healy, Jack Hegareth, Christopher Peter Hearn, Daniela Hernando Krakow, Abby Elizabeth Herod, Kimberly Judith Herrera,
Anna Catherine Harrington, Halen Scott Hickman Gouveia, Nasa Ho, Nora Bridget Hodgins, keep going, Kate Astle Hosteroy, Okay, we're good, I think. Start there. Okay. Abby Elizabeth Harrod. Kimberly Judith Herrera. Anna Catherine Harrington. Halen Scott Hickman Guvaya. Nasa Ho. Nora Bridget Hodgins. Kate Astle Hesteroy. Hannah Alexa Mava Hoffman. Spencer Gerard Hogervorst. Justin David Holmes. Sydney Lane Holmes. Connor J. Houlihan. Tyler David Howe. William Anthony Housey. Tracy Yuja Huang. Taylor Austin Hunt. Hayden Willow Hunter. Dongjae Hyewang. Alex Taehyuk Im. Andres Seraphin Inclon Goico. Tyler Anthony Incorvaya. Caroline Daly Ingram. Arash Iqbal. David Isero. Ryan Matthew Jacobson. Shreya Jampana. Grace Elizabeth Giros. Stacey John Louis.
Oscar Herrick Jalvik. Jana Jiang. Avery Grace Johnson. George Reynolds Johnson. Caitlin Elizabeth Johnson. Corbin S. Jones. Peter William Jocelyn. Luis Miguel Jove. James Robert Julian. Dean C. Kaduboski. Sophia Ann Kaiser. Michael Jack Kalinowski. Vitor Reddy Kandadi. Sebastian Raul Caper Barcelata. Sarah Karaman. Edward Benjamin Karpinski. Brian Patrick Kavanaugh. Aidan Michael Keene. Brendan Francis Keenan. Brendan Robert Keenan. Charles Edward Kelly. Charlotte Ann Kelly. Elizabeth Regan Kelly, presented by her father, Alfred Kelly. Jack Consiglio Kelly.
James Warner Kennedy. Catherine Ann Kenny. Hassan N. Khan. Muhammad Fatah Qayyum Khan. Namale P. Kia. Christian Kim. Jaehoon Kim. Kathy Kim. Matthew Philip Kim. Ryan Jae-woo Kim. Sun-un Kim. Yoonji Kim. Terrence King. Ethan Mark Chose. Gordon Babby Klein. William Francis Knowles. Sophia Catherine Cook. Sahil R. Kondaru. James A. Coons. Ava Corbani. Thomas Henry Coster. Drake Crumey. Yarina Mariah Cordoba. Nolan Hungju Kwok. Connor Michael Kwok. Joseph Gregory Labarge.
Bettina LaGreca. Ish Mohan Lal. Grace Landolfi. Charles Edward LaRosa. Ryan Patrick Lawler. Jaden Sungbum Lee. Ginny Lee. Shiyung Lee. Isabella Anna Lees. Paul Gregorio Leonelli. Brandon Lee. Joshua Lee. Michael Francisco Lilly. Kay Lynn. Olivia Lynn. Alejandro Javier Linares. Jude James Lipuma. Chenyin Liu. Sophia Liu. Timothy Hai Liu. Yichin Agnes Liu. Alejandro Yamazares Gonzalez. Raul Loeb Wald. Haley Rose Looney. Samuel Edward Luber.
Andrew Xavier Lynch. Lucas Halsey Moss. Thomas John Ronald McKessie. Samantha Haley McLeod. Jeffrey Thomas Madelone. Rogna Sarah Magnustatir. Alexandra Catherine McGuire. James Francis Mayon. Georgette Makuta. Andres Mantica Lacayo. Isabella Mia Manzi. Ethan Alexander Marcaselli. Anthony Joseph Marie. Anna Marshall. Matthew Martinez. Peyton Michael Mason. Fabian Mathias. Luke Robert Mawiney. Mary Frances McCann. Elizabeth Ann McCarr. Jack Travis McClure. Archie Cameron McDonough. Ava Camille McGee. Michael James McGlone. Jada Nicole McKnight.
Avery Elaine McLaughlin. Jack Frederick McNichol. Aiden Sanat Mehta. Ansh Samir Mehta. Nicholas Thompson Mendez. Ty Aaron Mendez. Victoria Hope Irene Mihalatos. Grace E. Milliken. Isabella Marie Monsalve, Michael Eric Montonen Van Geffen, Ava Soleil Monpetit, Paul Michael Montroni, Charles Patrick Morin, Abigail Claire Morgan, Shay Christopher Morley, John Christopher Morrison, Dylan James Murphy, Lily Rose Murphy, James Vincent Murray, Zia Munir Musa, Hussein Usef Mohammed Usef Nada, Aiden Michael John Nadir, Joseph Moad Nasser, Ariel Navon Martino, Javier Alberto Nazario Sanchez.
Michael Robert Navarra, presented by his uncle, Robert Morrissey. Otto Henry Nissenblatt. Charles Thomas Nolan. Daniel Joseph Nolan. Amelia Norhoy. Ryan Michael Norton. Salvatore Antonio Nuzzo. Michaela Jane O'Connor. Uchechukwu Ogbe. Patrick O'Connor O'Neill. Kevin Patrick O'Neill. Sean O'Neill. Temilade Ulawaduni O'Neila. Seamus Michael O'Reilly. Juan Camilo Ortiz. Daisy Valerie Ortiz Valdez. Quibena Gemma Tango Osebonsu. Noah Ostrowski. Timothy Joseph O'Sullivan. Isosahia Jemima Owens. Constantine Gregory Paleologos. Jackson Russell Palmer. Michelle Pan. Marco Domenico Peretti. Min Q Park.
Haley Caroline Pataki, Michael Allen Peckera, Ricardo Angel Perez, Orlando Perez DeLong, Mariano Ricardo Perez Lenti, Noel J. Perez Valdez, Julia Elizabeth Pesci, Drew Joseph Pedicha, Sophia Amor Petipa, Timothy Martin Petrick, William Patrick Petrick, Christopher Michael Petrino, William Quinn Payton, Vianu Fong, Hannah Elizabeth Phillips, James Carney Pills, Nicholas Thomas Polari, Leslie Beatrice Pineda Duran. I didn't hear. Hannah Elizabeth Phillips, James Carney Pills, Nicholas Thomas Polari. What's your name?
Leslie. Down further.
Yeah, she's not yet. Hold on. Yeah, no.
Yes. She's Leslie.
Okay, so Leslie Beatrice Pineda Duran. Apologies. Max Pinchuk. Alejo Pisoni. Margaret Ellen Pittman. Alexandra Andrew Potabayad. John Quest Pogarels. Michael Politis. Michael Paul Pasoli. Alyssa Taylor Potvin.
Jorge Carlo Puig. James Frank Polisi. Siyu Chi. William Ignatius Quinn. Alexander Paul Rotma. Nicholas Gilbert Robjohn. Selena Ann Raftery. Matthew Reagan. Scarlett Isis Regis. Arjun Ramesh. Arnav Rastogi. Riley Muriel Raybal. Emma Grace Raymond. Samuel Peyton Rector. Zoe Juliana Reddick. Patrick James Reddy. Jack Michael Morgan Redmond. Nicholas Antonio Reginato. Riley Erickson Reynolds. Sarah Harrison Rice. Brendan Michael Richardson. Suzanne M. Reefcole. Adam Niels Alexander Ringberg. Diego Alvarado Rios Brew. William Timothy Ristow.
Michael P. Roach. Jackson Matthew Robards. Sarah Suzanne Roberts. Theodore Oscar Roberts. Grant N. Robinson. Julia Margaret Rocket. Christopher Helmut Rodzig. James Michael Rogers. Abigail Lynn Rogowski. Luke David Rosing. Noah Edward Ross. Jessica Lynn Rowley. Finn Ruhanen. Ty Christopher Russell. William Joseph Rutherford. Ariana Vanessa Sabnani. Andrew Saki. David Salazar Jr. Mulis Sanau. Callista Madison Santomero. Brianna Marley Santoro. Riley Roberta Santos. Ryan Philip Schaefer. Hunter M. Sheepot. Colin James Schillinger.
Edward Daniel Schler. Samantha Rose Schmer. Giannis Eric Schneider. Nicholas Joseph Schrader. Zachary Francis Schroeder. Connor Yannick Schultz. Catherine Collins Schultz. Patrick Riley Schwab. Nicholas Schwaka. Eric Joseph Schwabel. Celine Schwesinger. Michael Alexander Sciarra. Thomas Michael Scordino. Andrew Zachary Sears. Moises David Segebra Charasi. Charles Andrew Sofrodo. Anika Sumit Shah. Jack Shaw. Andrea Schwang. Catherine Margaret Shea. Connor Silva. Elizabeth Maria Silva. Mark Daniel Silva. Juliana Lopez Samoy. Andrew Richard Simon.
Brianna Bethany Allen Skeen. Erin Jane Smith. Isabel Olivia Smith. Catherine Ann Smith. Michael Gregory Smith. Nicholas James Salitro. Zachary Spellman. Domenico Pasquale Sposito. Michael Christopher Stagnan. Nicholas Connor Staley. Nicholas William Stetz. Madeline Stevens. Alicia Shara Santalane. Kira Natalie Stoitzer. Theodore Charles Straven. John Owen Stravino. Elena Rose Shugru. Charlotte Jane Sullivan. Edward Fitzmaurice Sullivan Jr. Elizabeth Ann Sullivan. Timothy J. Sullivan. Oscar Nicholas Sumi. Catherine Bryn Sutherland. Luke M. Sutton. Stefan Villameyer Svanberg.
Tobiah Grogan Slopak. Alvaro Jose Telayaro Ocio Jr. Zachary Stephen Tamaro. Tan Jung Nam Jordan. Annie Jill Tannenbaum. Brianna Ying Tang. Wenru Tong. Pawatpat Tanti P. Potpong. Giancarlo Terasua. Audit Terupumphi. Dylan Christopher Tassine. John Joseph Testa. Julian Benjamin Testorf. Conrad Harris Thayer. Kenna Jean Thomas. Rithika Elizabeth Thomas. Jack Dennis Thompson. Alekia Chand Thotakura. Nina Millie Tiani. Olivia Marie Timmons. Bubakar Toure. Will Henry Traeger. Shreya Trivedi. Nathaniel Min Trung. Lila Doing Trussell. Alyssa Chen Toure.
David Reinhardt Chusig. Alan Hermansky. Ante Luka Uramovich. Caitlin Marie Vagra. William Henry Van Pelt. Karine Marie Gabrielle Van Viken. Alexa Ray Vahulak. Shrifu Vemuri. Aditya Venkat. Akil Chandra Venom. Daniela Virchich. Andres Alberto Volmer Aspura. Peter Varelis. Claire Samantha Wagner. Tyler and Allen Wall. Caitlin Francis Waldron. Justin Palmer Walker. Connor Morgan Walsh. Ray Young Wong. Ian Michael Wassman. Sophie Louise Watson. Matthew Aaron Weiss. August John Whitman. Chase Radcliffe Whitney. Jasmine Bella Whitaker. William Weaver Whittlesey Jr.
Joseph, right? Joseph? Yeah. Joseph Oliver Wiggum. Jenna Rose Williams. Joseph Andrew Williams. Alyssa Lauren Wilson. Peter Joseph Wojak. Kyle Asher Wolf. Brandon Wong. Jonathan William Wright. Kelly Jenna Wu. Zachary Austin Yakubik. Charles Yicheng Wong. Zimeng Wang. Melissa M. Yao. Daniel Yu. Michael Alexander Yost. Shi Yuen. Cynthia Zhang. Esther Myungkyun Zhang. Richard Jingsheng Zhang. Elaine Zhang. Carter Meyer Zelinsky. Christina Elizabeth Zito. Eric Zoe. And finally, Matthew John Zusi.
Would now like to invite Father Tony to close with a benediction.
Come on, Tony.
You've had a lot of prayers today. I'll be very short. There's a great Jesuit out of California by the name of Gregory Boyle. He's probably the best speaker you could ever have. And he likes to say that a Jesuit college is not so much a place you go to as it is a place from which you go forth from. Jack says you're ready. with your brains and with your heart, we say to you tonight, go forth from this place with our blessing to make our world a better place. Amen.
Thank you, Father Tony. Before we end, I'd like to recognize a team of people who have worked so hard today and throughout all your time here. So can the undergraduate advising team stand and wave? Okay, we got Drew Barksdale, Taryn Beatty, Amy Donegan, Miranda K. Eastman, Ashley Edmonds, Jessica Hartley, Sandra Howe, Alia Salas, Kathy Hirajoklu, Ryan Molderig, Dean Sullivan, and Josephine Zhang. So to this team and all of our outstanding faculty here today, thank you for your incredible hard work and commitment to our class of 2026. You've tirelessly supported our students these past 4 years, making them feel known, cared for, and called to greatness by great people. So thank you again. And now, it is my absolute honor to welcome you all to the world of Boston College alumni. In the words of Homer's Iliad, this is now your ancestry. This is the maroon and gold blood you are proud to inherit, ever to excel. Congratulations, Carroll School of Management, class of 2026.